You're listening to Siris Says podcast. Join us as we transcend cultural barriers and elevate diverse voices. Here, we inspire, inform, and empower one story at a time. Let's dive in. Welcome, guys, to Siris Says. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. And if you're a new listener, welcome. Today, I want to introduce this very aspiring woman that I love. She's a close friend and somebody I look up to. Her name is Aida Oltman. She is the CEO of Unlimited. She's a podcaster, a model, an entrepreneur, and who knows, she might be starting something new soon. She's just somebody always very entrepreneurial and starting new things, and I just love that. But I'd like to introduce you once again to Aida Oltman.
Oh, Siris, thank you so much for having me here. I've been wanting to be on here, and not only for the fact that, obviously you're getting us to have our voices heard on your show. But really, for you going after this dream of yours, and so it's really inspiring watching you go for it. So thank you for having me.
You actually inspired me to start the podcast. So when I first started, I got an itch to start this. And I had met Aida and I had already thought about starting it, but I just wasn't brave enough. And because I had you in my life and I saw you as a role model, I was like, oh my gosh, I contacted you, remember? And I said, I want to start this. And thank you so much for being so encouraging and also giving me tips on how to get started.
Yes, so, I knew you were gonna be able to do this because the vision behind it is just so great. I don't think I've seen it yet. You're really sharing the voices of so many out there, and that's just amazing. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So, Aida, I'd like you to introduce your brand because I'm super excited about it. You just did a new release recently.
Yes.
So, please tell the audience, what's this behind Unlimited?
Yes, that's a very great question. So I love that we're diving right in. I think behind every business, there is a why. And for me, the why behind Unlimited is actually very personal. In 2015, I weighed 120 pounds. I had lived a sedentary lifestyle. I had a 9-to-5 job. And really, that's all I did. I mean, I thought that I ate, well enough until one day I came home from work and I laid down to take a gorgeous nap, which was great. Yes, such a great nap. 45 minutes later, I get up. I tried to get up and I cannot move my left leg. I literally had to use both hands and move the leg off the couch. And as I tried to get up, my feet could not withstand the weight of my body. So I fell back on the couch. And that was just plenty enough for me to go to the ER because that was a really uncomfortable pain. And it was a pain that was going from the bottom of my foot. And it felt going up through the vein. It was a weird feeling. And the family that I had around me really urged me to go to the ER. They thought it was the best solution to try to figure this out. So we get to the hospital and I stay for observation for about 3 days. I finally get to talk to the doctor. And there are 2 questions that they ask. How do you live your life? Okay, that's a big question. Not in the best. What are you asking me, really? So essentially, it was asking me, how do you live your life? And so I explained to him, I have a 9-to-5 job and, barely work out. I think I eat this decent. And again, I thought that, I was healthy. I'm hey, I weigh 120 pounds. I'm skinny. I'm healthy. I don't know what's happening here. The doctor, just tell me what's going on. I was just so confused. And then the second question was, are you taking any kind of medication, right? And I think that's usually it's a very common question. They want to know what have you been consuming, right? So they can give you a clear analysis of what is going on. So I was on birth control pills at the time.
Yeah.
And so we looked at the scans and it turned out that I had a blood clot. Yes. So thankfully, it was not a dangerous one.
Yes.
It could have been if we had gone in later than, we needed to be. So again, ladies, gentlemen, whoever you are listening to the show, don't disregard, little signs. Pay attention, listen to your body. It's very important. Your body is usually giving you signs. And we just have to be mindful to listen to it.
Ignore the pain. Yeah.
Do not ignore it. Yes. Don't brush it off because it could become something more than what it is right now. So with that, results that the doctor gave me, it's okay, for the next 6 months, you have to be on a blood thinner, right? And so that meant going to the physician every couple of weeks so they could take my blood samples and make sure that, we were on track. It also involved changing my diet. I learned a lot about vegetables and, which ones are blood thinners and which ones are not. And how moderation is very important in all things in life, really. Even in nutrition and movement. Going to work is not enough. And it's also through that I learned that, when you move around your house, It still is movement, but it's not enough. Our bodies are meant to be moved.
Yes.
Right? And so if you stay stagnant, your body's not getting what it is meant to have. And so with that, I set out to look for fashion. I love fashion. So as she mentioned, I'm also a model. Yes, I love to look cute. And I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna, have to get to the gym and get out there and do my thing, I need to look cute. So I started shopping for things. I don't know about you, but at the age of 25, I mean, at least me, I didn't have like a high-paying job to be able to buy like super luxury outfits. Yes. And so like the good quality ones were really expensive, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, okay. And the cheap ones, they were either, itchy or like, they were too compressed, like they were just uncomfortable. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to do away with comfort just because I want style.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, right? Yes. And so I'm like, okay, I set out to, Aida, let's do this. Let's create a brand that's for you. And hopefully it will inspire other people and they will want to buy it. It sounds crazy.
It's as simple as that. But she was like, let me create my own.
Yes. Yeah.
That has both. Like, looks wonderful on myself, but also it's affordable.
Absolutely. Like I started out with t-shirts actually. And then it went into more of... Fun fact, yes. I don't think you knew that.
No, I didn't know that. I just found out. Because I follow the brand pretty closely. And I've tested your designs. My favorite are these leggings that she have. They're like butter in your legs.
Yay.
And I love doing yoga on them. They have just a perfect amount of compression. They're not too compressive. I don't like too compressive to do yoga. But a lot of the leggings are very tight. I have a big waist, yo. So yeah, it's hard.
Yes, absolutely. That's another thing too. Yeah, obviously realizing that being skinny is not a definition of healthy. So like some people might be skinny but they're not healthy, but you may have women of bigger bodies that are healthy.
Yeah, the term for
and
that
so just
some
depends.
People say is skinny fat. You look skinny, but your levels are not good.
Yes.
Inside.
Yes.
Because you can actually look a little bit more voluptuous.
Yes.
And actually be very healthy.
Exactly.
Which is mind blowing.
Yeah. Seriously. And like with that, I'm like, I set out to really create a brand that welcomes diversity of bodies, and really try to put out like a very body positive message. Obviously, I'm a small brand still, so I'm not as big as, so many like the likes of Lululemon, but I do actually believe that our quality is quite comparable, if not better.
I believe it. I know so.
Thank you. I mean, right now, I'm wearing, one of our items from the last collection. Yeah, so it's like super stretchy. It feels so good. Yeah. It's high waist.
Good.
Thank you so much. And you can really mix and match with everything.
I see what you're doing here.
Right?
I love how it's like comfortable, super comfortable.
Yes.
But also, I like the formality of the jacket.
Exactly. I believe in style. I think style, it pairs well with your level of confidence. Right? So I think for me, like when I look at something, like I'm like, okay, what am I trying to accomplish with this look? Right? Ooh. Okay, so if I take this off, for example, I'm ready to hit the gym. Like I'm gonna do like a HIIT workout, run, whatever that may be. It will support me through that. Yeah. But let's say that after the workout, I need to go quickly, do like a FaceTime with you, for example, right? Yes. I just need to put a jacket over it and it still looks very fashionable. Yeah. Or I need to run to the store, I can put like light sweater, a sweatshirt, for example, or again, this, like I could literally go to the store and look put together.
Very presentable.
Exactly. Yeah. Without needing to like go home first, shower. Because also the beauty of our products is like we believe in breathability.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
So it's like, after your sweaty workout, like as you're walking to your car, your debris should dry off very quickly.
That's
right.
Good.
And it just makes life easier. So you're not changing to do too many outfits. Mm-hmm. And if you just need to add a little piece here and there, it's just a simple addition of something. And there's something to be said about wearing something that makes you feel good. It elevates your confidence. It elevate your look. It elevates how you show up in the world.
It's true. I mean, it frames your mind for the day.
Yes.
Sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
Don't stay in your pajamas. For those people that work from home, I know it's so hard to give up the pajamas.
Yes.
But understanding that changing, it just shifts your mindset and it shifts you into the work mode.
Absolutely.
So to speak.
Yeah.
I know your most recent collection, you did more of the nude colors.
Yes, I did a
And
mixture.
they look so good.
Yay.
So on top of the fabric being amazing, I love the colors that you're coming out with. And I do see that you have there's something in your branding that is,
Oh, the Wealthy Club.
yes, the Wealthy
Yes,
Club.
I do have to spell that out actually. So it's a play on word between the word wealthy as in rich and the word wellness.
Wellness.
So it's WELLTHY.
I love that.
So Wealthy Club.
Yeah.
And the Wealthy Club is really anybody. It's anybody can be part of the Wealthy Club. The Wealthy Club just means, are you someone that is taking care of yourself? Are you listening to your body? Are you listening to your mind? How are you feeling today?
Yeah.
Understanding that it's okay to not be okay sometimes. And when you're feeling good, girl, get after it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Aida, you are an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And I want you to share with us, for those women that are out there that are thinking, hey, I want to be like Aida Oltman. I wanna get out there, put my product in the forefront. What would you say are the most important things that they should be thinking about it or doing, acting on to pursue their dreams or their brand or anything they want to bring into friction?
That's such a great question. I don't know about you, but I have all kinds of ideas that come to my mind all the time.
Yes.
But they're not all great ideas.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Yes, that's okay. And sometimes the idea is just like it's not meant for it right now.
Yeah.
You know? So
timing is key.
Timing is so important. But I think what's most important is when you have an idea or you feel like you're ready to go after your dream, I think we should all ask ourselves why we're doing it. I think having a strong enough why will be what will keep you going the days that you don't feel like doing it. Because those days will hit you when you least expect it. The days where you're like, okay, why am I doing this? I'm so tired. You know, I want to do something else. And maybe, you do want to do something else, but go back to your why. Is your why strong enough? Is this still fueling your passion? Is this still the reason why you wake up every day feeling good about what you're doing? So you have to have that strong why. And if that why makes you excited, if that why gets you passionate about telling people about your business, if that why is impacting lives and your own life, and it's not at the detriment of the people you love and the things you love to do, that's strong enough for you to go forward. And I think also the thing about me, and I think a lot of people will probably relate to this, is I'm a recovering perfectionist. And so a lot of the times I want everything to be perfect. I want to know what the next steps are. And that, I think, usually comes out of fear of failure. And so I am learning day by day that sometimes instead of wanting to see the full staircase, it's just looking at the first step in front of you. Like, how do we make it simpler, right? How do we dissect a problem and say, okay, what is the first thing that I have to do first? And so I think, so knowing your why, making sure that it's strong enough, and really doing the very first thing that needs to happen for you to move your dream forward.
Yeah,
just do it.
That means looking at a business plan and also finding mentors too.
Oh, yes,
it's so key to find mentors. Like, you were kind of my mentor into starting this podcast. So it really is helpful. Even if you don't have somebody, reach to somebody on Instagram.
Yes.
Maybe if they're too big of an influencer, maybe a smaller one, more niche. And I'm sure they'd be willing to mentor you.
Yes.
And a lot of people are open to teaching other people too, and
absolutely
helping them, sharing
what
works for them, what doesn't. Or otherwise you can also go to YouTube. I love YouTube.
You're so right. And like you yourself as a podcaster, like the many voices that you're bringing forward, those are ways that we can also all learn. You know, like it fuels your vision, it fuels your idea, it fuels your dream to hear like someone like yourself going after this, you know, like thinking, how do I impact the world? How do I put the stories of so many that I know that are really going after it? I do believe, yes, it's important to have an example, something or someone that you look up to, right? But, you know, they're not necessarily like the end goal.
No, you still have to do it with your own twist, with your own touch. You have to be authentic.
Yes.
In your own way.
In your own way, yes. And, you can pull inspiration from multiple places, but you need to be as authentic. Like whatever you do, it needs to represent your values and principles in life. So
awesome. Thank you for that advice. I really love that. I hope the listeners take from that.
I really hope so too.
Yeah. Aida, what makes Aida?
Oh my gosh.
If somebody were to come to you and say, hey, what makes you happy? What are the things that inspire you, that keep you going?
Yeah.
That get you excited to wake up every morning?
Oh my gosh. Well, the things that make me excited to wake up every morning, my family, my friends.
The support system.
My support system.
I'm big on support system.
Absolutely. I think without them, I would be lost. I believe there's a God, and so I do take some time to work on my faith. I do like morning meditations.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes, that's part of my self-care. I need to have that moment to myself every morning with a cup of coffee, usually.
Yeah, I had a previous guest that she was pouring into herself every morning.
Yes.
And she started with like 10 minutes and it became an hour.
Wow, that's amazing.
That she gives to herself.
That's amazing.
To be able to tackle the day.
Yes.
I think it's important.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think like for me, and I hope that with everybody, is that when you wake up in the morning, I really think about like, how can I be better? Like, how can I be better for me, for my family, for my friends, for my job? Because I also have a 9-to-5 job still.
Yes.
I'm the director of sales for an international part of our business. And so I always think, okay, what are the different buckets of our lives? How can we do better? And it's not like you can do better at everything.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
absolutely.
Yes, you have to prioritize. And so through that morning when I'm like getting ready, I want to prioritize the things that I'm going to be focusing on that day. Because yes, as a recovering perfectionist, I sometimes feel like that I can do it all. Yes, we can, but maybe not at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
That's where it comes back. I wanted to ask you, how do you balance it all? Yeah. Because girl, you wear so many hats that I mean, you look like Wonder Woman to me.
My gosh! Oh, stop it!
And I mean, she looks great at it. You look just amazing, but also like you're so dedicated and you do all these things. And sometimes I'm like, wow.
It's not an easy feat. I think it goes back to like doing the most important things for the day. I came a long way from feeling very disappointed in me when I had this long list of things to do and I couldn't accomplish them all at the end of the day. And in the past, it left me very depressed. Like, yes, Superwoman is great. I love the movie and she's so badass. And like, I think I'm pretty badass. I think the women in my life, they're so badass. But I do believe that we can't do it all at the same time, because then it takes away from the energy that you're pouring into the things that you're doing, right? You end up not really doing it at the best of your ability. So going back to what I said earlier, how can I do something better every day? So for me to do all those things, I do have to prioritize some things by day, by moment of my day. Yeah. And I really have this journal, and I'm like, okay, every morning I do like a brain dump of everything that I feel like that I need to do. Yes. And I will then prioritize by day and by the week.
I love that.
Yes.
I like that. That gives you peace of mind.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know about you, but I do love to do the little check, oh my gosh, this satisfaction. I live for it, check, done.
Or cross out. Let me cross
it. Yes, yes, she did it. Let's go. Yeah. And really, that's where it is. There are some days where I fail, but you got to keep trying. You got to keep looking at, how can you do better? How can you be the best version of yourself? And is that best version of yourself, is it benefiting you and the people around you? I think that's ultimately it. At the end of our lives, it's not about what you had.
No.
It's who you had and how you impacted the people in your life. I think if you were to go back and ask people what they think about you, what would they say?
What would be their legacy?
Yeah. What would you leave behind? And whenever you see somebody, what kind of impact are you leaving? Right? Are you making someone smile? Are you making them feel good? Are you inspiring them so they can go after their dream? I think that should be everybody's goal. Yeah. Be a good human.
I love
that. So
thank you for sharing that. That was great. Very well put. We're gonna go to a short break and we'll be right back. Thank you. Today's episode is sponsored by RenovateMagicHub.com, your guide to transforming your home. Whether you're updating a room or planning a full makeover, Renovate Magic Hub provides tailored product suggestions to suit your style and budget. Visit renovatemagichub.com for inspiring and practical tips to create a space you'll love. Welcome back to Siris Says. So, Ada, I know you're huge on personal care.
Yes.
So, what are the top things that you have been focused on lately? Because there's a lot of trends.
Yes.
But which ones have been seen that are really fulfilling?
Yes.
Really helping you?
So my co-host Simone McKenna of our podcast, Unscripted Podcast.
Mention your podcast name.
Yes, the Unscripted Podcast.
Yes.
We're all on all channels. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
So we started this, actually me, her, and 3 of my other friends started the 75 Hard Challenge.
Ooh.
But we're making it soft. We realized that our lives are quite complex.
Yes.
And honestly, it's not like we're trying to compete for anything. We're just wanting to find structure, especially during this time right now. It's so busy with all the things like planning for Christmas gifting, holidays in general, very busy and trying to wrap up things at work for the end of the year. So really, how do we still find focus when it comes to our wellness, right?
And 75, dear.
Yes,
75,
yes.
How do you do this? Explain, because
yeah,
75 is a big number.
It really is. It's essentially 75 days.
Oh, 75 days.
Yes, and so it's 75 days of hard stuff. So meaning it's 2 workouts, 2 45-minute workouts. One has to be outdoors.
Okay.
It's reading 10 pages of a book.
A day?
A day.
Okay.
No alcohol, no anything like substance. You have to take a selfie of yourself every day.
Ooh,
yeah,
I could see the empowering part.
Yes, and drinking gallon water every day. It just allows you to have like a few things that you can focus on daily that already check the box of you taking care of yourself. Obviously, you can add additional things that you like to do. Like for example, I like to do my morning devotionals. At the end of the day when I'm laying on my bed, I try to, say out loud or to myself 5 things that I'm grateful for before I fall asleep. So you can still add those things, but the 75 soft allows us to really, have that structure, that routine. I'm that kind of person where I need a little bit of structure. I can be flexible, but I do need something that I'm working toward. And so right now I'm reading the book The Mountain Is You by Brianne Wist.
Which I want to read.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love how she essentially says that we're humans and emotions are normal. And we'll
have the book linked on the video.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay. And if you do, message me on my personal Instagram. I would love to chat with you about it. But yeah, it just really talks about how it's okay to feel all the things. And it's okay sometimes to sit with the feeling. Like, it's okay. You're human. It's okay. You're not supposed to be perfect.
Like,
nobody
okay
is perfect.
Feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so with that, after reading my 10 pages, I do a little bit of journaling. So I just put my thoughts down, and then I follow that with my brain dump of all the things that I need to do. So I go into the day with a clear path of what I want to do. We are the ones that set the tone for our days.
Yes.
This is how I take a little bit of control of my life, right? Versus letting life happen to me, right? Also, I very much enjoy just moving my body. I think movement, like I said earlier, is so important. So back to the 75 soft, not everybody can do 2 45-minute workouts.
I was going to say that.
That can be very hard.
But you can change it, right? Adjust it to your lifestyle. Or what you can do. Some people cannot do that long of a period of a workout.
Yes. Yeah. Did you move your body? I mean, that's how we're looking at it. And so I like to change it up a little bit. I try to work out 3 to 5 days a week. 3 times I like to do strength training. And 2 of the other days I like to do a bit of cardio. Stretching, yoga, and things like that. I like to keep it interesting. So that's why I like to vary it a little bit.
I feel the same way. I prefer to vary it because every day the same.
Yeah.
It's a little boring.
It gets boring.
I don't know about y'all, but I like diversity. Just like you said.
Absolutely. And I think for me, the most important thing at the end of the day is did I pour into me? With all those things that I did, I still got to make sure that I'm not just checking boxes, but how do I feel at the end of the day? If I created a routine that is not pouring into me, you got to change it up. For the longest time, I thought you could only have one routine. I have routines for days that I'm going to be busy. Where I'm starting in the morning. I like the 5 in the morning. have coffee and things like that. And then I have routines for my slow days, right? Days that I may be off from work, or Saturdays and Sundays where it starts a little bit slow. And that it's okay for you to change things up a little bit. Nothing needs to be fixed. Like nothing needs to be like one way. It's like you're really asking yourself and being honest with yourself. How are you feeling? And if you're not feeling okay, like do you have a good support system that allows you to feel good and like really take care of yourself and help you pick up the pieces sometimes? I heavily rely on my support system. Like every week I need to talk to somebody that I love, somebody that makes me feel good.
Free therapy.
Yes. Exactly what she said. Yes.
My book is also about multicultural, and I want you to share with the audience because you are very exotic mix.
Oh,
I wanted you to share what your background is, and has it influenced the way the Aida of today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been through so many versions of Aida that I think like a lot of people, like some people, like maybe 15 years ago that have known me 15 years ago.
So many changes.
Yes.
And that's a good thing. That means you're
evolving.
Yes.
Yeah, you're changing. Yes.
So
in a
what's
good
your
way,
background, if you don't mind sharing with the audience?
Absolutely. So I was born in Ivory Coast, which is in West Africa. I did spend a good portion of my life in Brazil. I went to high school here in the US, my father being a diplomat, so that allowed us to travel quite a bit. But I was always drawn to the US. Yeah, there was always something about being in this country that got me really excited. And I think it comes down to the opportunities that this country does offer.
Do you think Aida is living the American dream?
I think I'm living my own version.
Okay, fair enough.
Of my dream. Yes.
I think it's a very personal.
Yes.
Everybody's personal.
I think I'm living my own version of my dream.
I love that.
Yes. I think the American dream today is very different from what it was back in the day for so many, especially if you think about like the immigrants, that formed this country.
Yes.
The
original and the ongoing and the futures to come.
Exactly.
They've definitely changed.
Yes.
The promises.
Yes. They've inspired so many of us. And I still think it's about aspiring for something that allows you to get to that self-realization. That place where you feel like you made it. And even when we say we made it, what does that look like for you?
I think it's a very personal journey.
Yes, 1000%.
If you're thinking to coming into the United States, just know that you're going to have to figure it out as you go along. And don't think that it's going to be one thing, or don't just always believe everything you hear from other people. Explore, investigate, right? Because you could be in a great country already as it is, right? So I think that's a great comment. It's like, and I think that also helps you not compare your dream to someone else's, right? Yeah, it's kind of like having that rich life. Like we all have different what your rich life looks like, right? And so
like there are things that you have that other people may want, right? And there are things that you may want right now that maybe like 5 years from now you don't want anymore. So again, that dream changes over time. At least that's been my experience, right? But like ultimately for me, it's like, okay, am I the best version of myself? That the dream that I'm living right now, am I living up to my potential? Back to like feeling unlimited. I am unlimited, but is it aligned with what I want to do with my life?
I love that.
Thank
you for sharing. Aida, where can people find you?
Yes. First of all, I do have to thank you for having me on the show. This is really awesome. This is like my second appearance on the show, and I'm glad that it's with you. Yes.
I actually had a chance to be in her podcast.
Yes. So it's actually releasing very soon. Yes.
So keep an eye out on it.
It will be releasing on our podcast, and that's @_the Unscripted Podcast. So you can find me and Simone on there. You can find me, my personal page /modeling @Aida Oltman. That's Aida, AIDA OLTMAN. I'm assuming you will have that in the show notes.
Yes, I'm going to tag on the video for sure.
Perfect,
so if
thank you.
You guys want to take a look at that on the description as well.
Yes, and for Unlimited, if you're looking to shop anything for Christmas, the perfect time right now. We'll have a few sales and actually a few giveaways that are happening actually starting next week. So be on the lookout. But yes, so find us at Wear Unlimited, and that's WEAR UNLMTD.
Yeah, and if you guys are coming from Siris Says, make sure you guys stop by, DM them and say, hey, I'm coming from Siris Says.
I might give you a little discount.
So just so extra maybe. So Ada, the last guest left a question.
Okay.
And so my podcast, I have this little challenge where I ask you the question from the last guest and then you come up with a question for the
I
next
love
guest.
that. That's so awesome.
Are you ready?
Let's do this, I think.
So the question was, how do you overcome your deepest fear?
Oh, oh my gosh, that's such a deep question. Such a deep question.
What was it and
such
how
a
do
good...
you overcame it?
Yeah, I think the way I overcame it was through sitting with my feelings,
Ooh.
you know, and being okay, like knowing that I was feeling that. Like fear is a normal feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And second, that I was able to open up to others, that I didn't feel like I needed to deal with all the things that were happening on my own.
On your own.
That it's okay to ask for help.
To share,
yes. And sometimes, you know, it's that next person that you're telling your fears to that they can say, you know what, don't be scared, or, you know, I got you. You know, and sometimes,
or you share the burden a little bit.
Yeah, you know, like life is not meant to be lived alone. And I honestly believe that, you know, like when we share our fears, it allows others to also do the same. And the more we all deal with our fears, the better people we become. And I think that can ultimately benefit society. And so I think that's the best way I can say that. I mean, it's so challenging. It's just, you know, we all fear something every day, but we have to be honest with ourselves, right? Why are we fearing that? I think that's a big question that comes up to me now. The more books on self-care that I read and self-growth, it's always about like having that honest conversation with yourself, right? I'm having this conversation with you, we're chit-chatting, but like that we're having that internal conversation as well. Yeah. Why do you feel this way? Why are your hands sweaty? Why are you scared? What's going on? Like, what's the reason behind the fear?
Yeah, I agree. I agree to not judge what you're feeling.
Yes.
But more like questioning why.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, all your feelings and what
it's valid.
Okay. It's valid.
Yes.
Perfect word.
Yeah, it's valid. Yes. Nobody can judge you, make you feel ashamed of any of it. It's okay. It's normal. We're human.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. What would be a good question you will leave in for the next guest?
Yes, I believe in going off of experience, and because your show is all about really sharing everybody's story and their voices, it would be nice to hear from the next guest what is the best advice that they've ever gotten, and also what is the worst advice they've ever gotten.
Oh gosh, that's a good one. So you guys heard it. I'll be asking the next guest that question. Good luck.
And I'll be listening.
So there you have it. Please feel free to reach out to Ada. Like she said, I like to bring people here that are very reachable, to be honest. You can DM any of these people and they'll be like, hi. And share your comments, subscribe, and like the video if you really enjoy it. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We're more than happy to answer them. It's been such a pleasure having you, dear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
This was all. Thank you, guys.
This was great, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Siris Says. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and drop a like. Share your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for more inspiring stories. Until next time, keep chasing those dreams.